Okay, Robin and Cody are the only ones married, right? And the others are symbolic. Can you explain that? So in the polygamous church, they have what's called spiritual marriages. In the mainstream LDS church, they have temples, and you go through and you're sealed for all time and eternity. Well, in the polygamous church, they have very similar ceremonies, but it's called an endowment house instead of a temple. So when you get married, you go through this endowment house and you're sealed. You make a covenant and a promise to this person to stay with them for all time and all eternity. And so you have this opportunity to be sealed. And so that's really what it is. And so the other wives have these spiritual marriages. That's what they're called, as spiritual marriages. And so divorce wise, in the eyes of the state, the only person that is legally married is Cody and Robin. And then everyone else is just spiritually married. And so that's why they have no legal recourse over property, finances, anything like that. They have no legal recourse over that because they're not legally married, and the state does not acknowledge that. But the church does acknowledge the spiritual marriages. And so I made a comment on the live that we just recently did that I thought convincing Mary to give up her legal marriage was a long game. And I still believe that. I still fully believe that. I feel like Robin went into this knowing that eventually she wanted to become the legal wife. You don't really need to be legally married in order to adopt someone else's children. And so I feel like that was a long game that was played, where Mary still had her spiritual marriage, but she didn't no longer had her legal marriage. And Robin was all the women were all the women were spiritually married. None of them were legally married other than currently Robin. So hopefully that answers your question. So when Mary said she went to seek a divorce or a release from her church, that's what she's talking about, a release from that spiritual marriage. So as of right now, Christine doesn't care. She doesn't care if she gets a spiritual release or divorce. Janelle is not going to seek one out, she said, and Mary went and got one. So, and then Robin is now spiritually married and legally married. So she has pretty much all the power and all the control in the family.